Hello everyone and welcome to today's stock charts and TA charts for crypto live stream. Today is Monday night about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today was a holiday, Monday, 2023. In America, it was President's Day today, so stock market was closed today, but we have Tuesday through Friday open and we have quite a bit going on in the stock market. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello and welcome everyone to today's stream. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We also have a Discord group. This week in the USA stock market earnings season, we have Home Depot earnings, Walmart, Coinbase, NVIDIA, eBay, TJ Maxx, which was popular with some of the Wall Street bets traders. We have Block, some restaurants as well, Domino's Pizza, Intuit Technology, Dr. Pepper. Moderna is going to be interesting, the vaccine producer. Papa John's Pizza, NetEase, I believe it's a Chinese video game company. That was related to Activision Blizzard. They canceled their deal with NetEase. And Wayfair. In terms of economic data releases, there's quite a bit. The big metrics for this week: core PCE price index. This is what the FOMC is basing its inflation data off of. The FOMC chairman said it multiple times. He looks mainly at the PCE index, as well as other data as well, like job data, home sales data. We also have Q4 GDP coming out for quarterly USA. That's going to be big. That's also a recession marker and to see where we are with the health of the USA economy. The big event this week, G20 meetings all day for basically most of this week, Wednesday to Saturday. We have FOMC meeting minutes, member speeches. We also have services, manufacturing data, home sales data, jobless claims, unemployment claims, new home sales, and consumer sentiment. There's quite a bit happening this week, and it's a short week as well. Then just some of the usual news. USA stock market earnings season continues. We have global inflation and recession risk for economies still ongoing because of the current data that's coming out with the USA economy. So I'm anticipating we're going to get more interest rate hikes from central banks in USA and Europe as well. 25 basis points plus, maybe even 50 basis points, because the data for CPI and PPI inflation data for this month was basically bad. Inflation is still bad. So we're starting to see the beginning signs of disinflation, but it's not over yet. It's the beginning of the end for inflation, but it could still take 1 to 2 years for inflation to come down from its 6.5% down to almost 2% target. It could take years for that to happen. Also, in the Supreme Court, USA, they are going to hear arguments regarding online hate speech or extremist speech, communities and communications on social media such as Google and Twitter. In the USA, we have multiple toxic chemical spills and disasters in various states. It's actually pretty alarming. Ohio, especially, Arizona, Oklahoma, Florida. We're talking about like train derailments, chemical explosions, toxic chemical spills into the ground and the air and the water. Also, it's kind of concerning, the frequency. All of a sudden it's happening really bad. In the online news, the Russia-Ukraine war, global news, began about 1 year ago. And the USA is pledging $500 million more military aid to Ukraine. China, Taiwan, USA, Russia, political military tensions are increasing in 2023. The political tensions in terms of everyone, these four countries are really gearing up their military demonstrations, which is pretty alarming. Okay, on the crypto side, Hong Kong is proposing new rules for crypto trading platforms, and they applied for a retail crypto trading license again. That could really boost crypto trading for Bitcoin as well. So I'm watching that closely, because we have to realize that in 2019, basically, a lot of the regulations for crypto exchanges, the laws were that, I'm paraphrasing here, that USA customers had to move back to USA exchanges only to comply with the regulations, compliance. So a lot of, I call it the big wild west of crypto trading was back in like 2017 up until like 2018. And then everyone got kicked off the exchanges in 2019. So if the trading really opens up again, and if the trading exchanges lower the trading fees, the fees go down, wow. I mean, that could set up another nice little bull rally run. Also, a former FTX crypto executive for the exchange plans to plead guilty to fraud. That's notable. And then last week's Bitcoin rally, if you didn't know, was sparked by a short squeeze, $60 million short squeeze, and the Ordinals NFT community activity surge. But we did see a pullback. All right, that's a lot of news going on for like the first 5 minutes. But now we have this kind of, well-rounded mindset of what's going on. So we'll do stocks and crypto. If you have requests, just go ahead and type it in the chat and I'll get to it eventually. Just refresh things before I start. All right, let us begin. Stocks. Dow Jones. Dow Jones is still going sideways in a symmetrical triangle in the yellow lines here. It used to be kind of this parallel channel and the blue lines, but not anymore so much. It's turning into a real symmetrical triangle. If I measure this, the whole thing, 6%, basically 3 to 6% from this breakout right at 337. Now, where'd that go? 3% would go about the gray line, 346.97. 6% would be about 357. I could lower this target a little bit. The X marks a spot. 3% to downside would be this blue line, and 6% would be the second line. Now, with the inflation risk looming over us, and you hear on the news, sticky inflation is here with us to stay for a while now, is if this rally, if we lose support, just like we lost support on natural gas last week, I'm anticipating lower low, lower high, and then fade down. It can fade all the way back down to 284 because that's our weekly low, right? This is dangerous. I would not really want to go long here, right? I might close some of my positions or really tighten up the stop loss after this stream because, right, we broke out of this weekly parallel downward wedge or downward channel, but it could really, if it sets up a double top, I mean, that's not good for the weekly. The market could crash down -6%. If we have like another war happening, I mean, I can see the price just completely collapsing over time, back down to 270, 275. So we really want to watch out for that. We are not in the clear zone. It's not green light yet for the whole global economy yet. All right, S&P 500, similar, but you could see this blue horizontal line at like 394. I have this marked at the X marks a spot. Is this my support? High, low, high. It didn't make a higher high. We didn't get to that 430. I was hoping to get to 430, but resistance, but it didn't happen. So it's fading down. We could go all the way to 390 and then bulls, see if we can try to establish that support here because it's in this upward wedge parallel type of channel. But you can see also that in the bearish case, if it crashes down, significant support down here at 345. Just check the weekly really fast. Yep, we basically had two inside bars. That's hesitation. That's not good. That's not good. So you want to watch out for possibly this type of price action happening in the future, where you just have a couple weeks of pullback. One moment. All right, let's go to NASDAQ. NASDAQ, similar, it's flagging right now, but once we lose this trend line support, which we basically have, the yellow line I just drew, pull back, right? So we're fading. The market does not, the bulls do not want to give up, but there's basically a triple top resistance right at 310. That's not good. 310 resistance. If it was bull case, we would really have to break up above that. it could be a continuation play, but until it happens, there's a very short-term upside down head and shoulders, but it's not really real because upside down head and shoulders should happen at the bottom. It should happen down here, not up here. So if it's not going to break out, this is a triple top resistance, and watch out for that to crash. About 3% to downside. That would be about 290. We really want to watch out for that. Also, there's Fibonacci supports just for people's reference. We'll take the low of 2023 to the high. And the 50% would be this 285 range here. The 618 also 276. The weekly, very similar chart. Inside bar, inside bar. Doge into a shooting star, very weak doji candle. So it's flagging right now on the weekly, but to me, that's pretty weak. We just have not had a huge sell-off. If this turns into an evening star pattern this week, if it sells off, then we know we're probably going down. Remember, we have the FOMC USA interest rate hike in March. Only a couple weeks away. Or about a month away. All right, let's move on very quickly. Let's go to gold, GLD. All right, gold finally found a temporary short-term tradable bottom here at 382 and 169. Now we have the reverse looking type of trend line, just trying to break out above that right now. But this is what we want to watch out for also in the markets, is if we're uptrending and then we gap down and we fade down, okay, usually this could turn into a large head and shoulders. That's one pattern that I see. So if we get that rally, just watch out for a fake rally because it's not really uptrending anymore. This is not a dip. It could be a dip in the very long term, but in a short term, this is not really a dip. So if it hits a lower high, then it could turn into a head and shoulders, and that's bearish. Watching out for that. It's not even completely oversold. The daily is building, but you see the weekly, we hit that high. Just like, so gold, this chart can be a forecasting indicator of what might happen in some other stocks and such. This is kind of that pattern. We also had Elliott wave. I could see it. 1, 2, 3. Actually, 1, 2, 3. It's hard. It's questionable. It's in there on the daily. It's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's basically in there. So we're gonna get ABC correction possibly. 4 hour on its low RSI. Some might say bullish momentum, possible for H4 setup on this gold. I'll watch that a little bit. All right, silver, very similar. We're just starting to get that weekly down cross finally connecting on the MACD histogram on the downside. GLD holding above the 50% retrace at 1950. See if we get that bounce and then that head and shoulders continuation to the downside on the bearish play. Again, once we have the support and it goes sideways for a considerable amount of time, that is not good. That's distribution. Distribution, sell wall. Somebody was selling their silver at $22. Watch out for that pullback. We might get a bounce and then a pullback. All right, USO. USO. The weekly consolidating to the side right now, the daily as well. Interesting, we're seeing a head and shoulders on the RSI in the middle. It's not quite at the top, but still, this is a little bit concerning. Also seeing a head and shoulders forming on the MACD histogram, and that's just kind of correlating with this price. But at the same time is if there's resistance right at 71.35, it's barely hanging on. So the support, I'm watching the downside support. Let me get rid of these blue lines for... I'm watching this one horizontal blue line. If we lose that, then it could be game over for in the short term. We lose $64. That measured move to the downside should be about 10% down to the X marks the spot, about 57.46. So we'll leave that for next time. The inverse is also true. The 10% breakout on oil would be nice for oil bulls. These are the two targets that we're staring at right now. And it's basically in this type of channel. I'll just leave it at that. All right, natural gas. Unfortunately, natural gas, like I said in my idea, does not always respond to the technicals. So that was a potential, more of a maybe support play. And the fundamentals, if we read the breaking news, which I did, is that inventories basically, and there's a supply change as well. So that's why it's just fading down. Bears are definitely in control for this. So we might need to wait for a much, much larger support pattern. That was more of a very short-term support pattern, the double bottom there. But if I'm looking for more of this, maybe we might need to see like a yearly double bottom or yearly triple bottom before it goes to the upside. So we might have to wait for this one for a long time. But it's probably going to happen. It's probably in the beginning stages of just forming, because if we really look at this, did it crash to negative 80%? No, it did not. But we just hit that zone and we just lost it a little bit. But you could see that also in the past on these rounding bottoms, that it does fade down and then it bounces back up, and then the shorts let go and the bulls come back. So that fight is not over. It's in the beginning stages of the equilibrium between the bulls and the bears. So I'm not giving up on UNG just yet. We had that gap down, but if we take that long-term perspective on UNG, we could see, we want to see weekly. I want to see weekly reversal. That's the key. If it doesn't reverse in the weekly, then we know this thing's probably crashing down more, but it's still fairly oversold for an asset. So it's just a matter of time. Okay, next, let's do a couple of these earnings. The screen is going to get bright. And let me bring it up here. Just take a quick look here before we move on to crypto. Again, thank you for watching and following. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. We also have a Discord group. All right, so let's look at Home Depot really fast, just to see what's going on here on stream. Home Depot, interesting. In the New York Stock Exchange, you could see the consolidation. Let me just erase everything. You can see the consolidation here. Resistance 332.67, support 309.10 area. Almost tracking the Dow Jones. So we could just use the measured move of the rectangle. 7% to downside would be about 287. 7% breakout be 358. One of these companies that is going to break out this week, so it depends on if I'm going to play it or not. I might not, because I might trade it, but there's a weekly double top at right. That's why. But it really depends. Like, I'm not looking to go long for a long time right now, knowing that interest rates might be increased in just a couple of weeks from now. So just want to watch out for that. All right, Walmart. Interesting news about Walmart is that regarding the food stamps changes in the USA, and how I read news, paraphrasing here, that some of the lower income customers might be downgrading, going elsewhere. So maybe like 99-cent stores or Dollar Tree type of dollar stores. And so Walmart, it's going to be questionable. We're going to be looking at that as well. It's kind of an important indicator for retail sales as well. But see Walmart just riding this wedge right here, riding the wedge. High, low, high. If this is a higher low, and if we have good earnings, well, the target might be 152.10, clear resistance on the chart, 158, 152, etc. If we fall out, then I would use fall down. I would use Fibonacci. We can see we're also riding right at that 382. We can crash down to 134 or 128 for support levels. So this is what I'm watching out for on Walmart. All right, Coinbase. We'll do a little crypto stock here. Now, Coinbase on the weekly first. All right, there was that nice bullish momentum, but it already popped up to the upside. Very nice play. We're just bouncing off to the resistance trend line right now on Coinbase. So I still like Coinbase stock. It just depends. The bottom was $31. Now let's see if we could survive. What I'm watching out for is this higher low bounce play. If this does not bounce up off, if Coinbase has bad earnings, then I'm expecting this to basically crash back down into the wedge here somewhere. at least maybe halfway, that Dow theory, the Dow Jones theory, 50% or 6.8, somewhere here, like a 57, $58 or like a $50. Clear resistance at 70 or 84. There's quite a bit of volatility on Coinbase. That's like a plus or minus 20% over time. All right, let's do NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been pretty quiet, but on the daily already, I'm already seeing this rounding top, losing the momentum on the RSI, losing momentum on the MACD histogram. Not very good on the charts. The 4-hour in this neutral, just below neutral. I was about to call it neutral, but it's 35. It's not that neutral. We have this double top here at 229 area. Watch out for the crash on NVIDIA. If this happens, we just lost it. Or I shouldn't say crash. I'm not going to try to anticipate it, but watch out for the volatility here because it's stuck going sideways right now. If this turns to a clear double top resistance after earnings, could crash down negative 10%. This could be an interesting short play if it's bad. Also, if we have the breakout, still 10% volatility, that's pretty nice. I'm not recommending playing earnings. This is education only. I'm kind of just speaking my mindset process of when I scope out and scout out a chart, what am I thinking about? Also their products as well. You know, how well did their new 4000 series video cards actually sell, right? Is it going to be similar to AMD earnings? That's, you know, things we have to kind of formulate in the mix while digesting earnings. eBay. Interesting online store, eBay. Let's see if some of this retail eBay sales were up or not. But in this large wedge, you can obviously see the large support down here. Low, that other low somewhere above $44. We put this Fibonacci here. That's right in the 618 zone, $44 to $41. About 5 to 10% volatility. We can see about $50, 52 area resistance. But, you know, personally, my strategy is I like to long at these bottom areas. I rarely like to long at the top unless the market conditions are phenomenal. Let's take a quick look at Etsy as well. This is very similar to eBay. Etsy is an online retailer of kind of handcrafted or handmade items or that artistic items. So it's very similar where you see the low, I'm looking for this low or even below that support to try to re-enter. Sometimes I play Etsy, but you could see the resistance at the top, support at the bottom. So if I want to long somewhere down here. Okay, next. Let's look at TJ Maxx because TJ Maxx was definitely a Wall Street bet stock. I remember a lot of people or several big traders talking about they're going to long TJ Maxx back here, and congratulations, amazing play. It was a lot of volatility if they were playing options on that. So in terms of the long term play, the trend line, let's get one of these large trend. Let me get my extended trend line. All right, there's a little bug right now. There we go. So we could see it's in a 4 years long upward parallel channel, basically. Where's that middle heart line? This is why it's good to look at long-term charts. Very long-term charts. All right, so finally we get that middle heart line up right about 72. The resistance, 86. Big support would be about like $60 down here. That's what I'm staring at. We didn't have a pandemic type of crash on TJ Maxx because it was saved by the bulls. Upside down head and shoulders. Did that complete? Yes, 2 times the target. So that pattern, this pattern's over. This pattern's over. Now it's a matter of did people buy over the holidays and can we break out? That would be incredible if TJ Maxx has this like a super bull run. But if it doesn't, I'm watching for the support right at $77. See if it pulls back 72 or 61. Let's go to Square. Square block. Interesting why I liked Square, except, you know, it's kind of a mixed chart right now. I do like this upside down head and shoulders with the potential neckline breakout, which we did not get. So this could be still possible, but less likely to happen now that interest rates are probably going to keep going up. The target was supposed to be way up here, 111, or even higher than that, 148 area. Going back to the chart here. Now it kind of looks like the QQQ type of chart where you just have that open support level down here. This is what a lot of stocks look like right now in the short term. In the long term, it is good that we broke out of the descending wedge or descending parallel channel. But the fact is we need to establish a very strong level of support and not go down. We need to not go down. This chart should not go below $51. If it goes below $51, then this stock is in big trouble. And I'll probably short it down because that means the market at large is probably going down as well. One moment. Okay, let's do a couple more and then we'll go to crypto. We're almost at the halfway mark. If you have a stock request, go ahead and let me know now so we could finish off the stock section. DPZ, Domino's Pizza, very popular pizza chain here in the USA, but still at that resistance. Not really the most powerful chart. Not really the most powerful chart here. You can see it 292, 300 as well. The resistance at 365, 400. Get this Fibonacci up. It's pretty weak looking chart to me. Let's see if there's any interesting setup. But it's before earnings, so some of these technicals is about to get overridden. I'll just put the resistance here at about 365. Thank you for the follow. The S&P 500 chart, it's the first or second stock that I did at the beginning of this stream. So it's probably around the 7 or 10 minute mark at the beginning of the stream for SPY. All right, let's look at INTU. Tax software company. It is tax season for about 2 more months. So we have a large sim triangle here. Interesting. You haven't seen one of these for a little bit. 20% up or down. That's quite a lot. 315 to the downside. The 25% is like $500. You could see this hesitation, right? We went from down to, oh, let's rally. Actually, it's not time yet, interest rates, to let's rally again. Oh, no, interest rates are going to go up. So that's the whole feeling of the market right now. We're not there until we're there. All right, let's do a couple more. Moderna is going to be interesting just because of what's going on with, hopefully we have continued decrease of COVID infections and deaths globally so that at least the workforce and labor force can go back to normal if it's even possible. But again, we've already seen the crash, the big crash. I should make myself clear. I'm not saying short now. I'm saying we already saw that demand decrease for the vaccines. The price went down as well. I'm just curious to know are we going to get another downward leg? Because we went from this huge uptrend where the value was extremely valuable for COVID vaccines. But when I go outside and I look around at people, I don't see fear anymore that much in people's eyes for the most part. I don't really see fear anymore in terms of COVID. Like at least where I live in America, in my particular city, is most people are not afraid of COVID anymore. So it's kind of like a non-issue. It is an issue, but it's not as bad as 2 years ago. So if their sales go down, I'm curious to know, are we going to get another crash on Moderna? This whole range is 86%. So the current price down is negative 30%. So I'm watching for that potential resistance and support on the downside. I might continue to short. We'll see. We'll see how that goes depending on the earnings. Do a couple more here. I usually don't cover Asia stocks, but NetEase on NASDAQ. Excuse the noise right now from my neighbors. But NASDAQ NetEase is basically right here. We have the resistance at $92 right now. And the only reason I remember this company is because they're doing earnings right now, and they Activision Blizzard canceled their deal with NetEase as their production studio for a video game. So that could be not good in the long term for NetEase. So this could be really interesting. If it's shortable, it is on the NASDAQ, but if it is, quite a huge range here. So I'm watching this as well. That's like negative 20%. All right. Somebody has a request, CAT, C-A-T, Caterpillar stock. All right. So Caterpillar stock, very similar to the Dow Jones chart at the beginning of the stream around the 5 or 7 minute mark. And now we went from this bullish momentum into this resistance zone. And the inflation data, just to repeat it, is January's inflation data. December was basically not good. Inflation is continuing to go up for consumers and producers. We have the personal consumption expenditures, PCE inflation data coming out this week, as well as GDP data. So we're anticipating, most analysts, economists that I read, we're also anticipating interest rates to continue to go up. 25 basis points, 50 basis points. So if inflation continues to go up and the stock market and the economy is not ready to go up yet, the market conditions are not good enough, it's slightly looking that this might be a bearish setup, right? Because it's already up so high, longing at this point could prove to be dangerous in the short term. Long term, like 5 or 10 years from now, it might be a different story, but we're talking about 6 months, 3 to 6 months. If we pull back, the levels that I want to watch out for, we just lost that short-term support of the trend line. So 240, if we lose $244 and this thing starts to downtrend, then we know it's going to confirm into a downtrend. It's right at that rounding point. That's why it's questionable for stocks and crypto as well right now. It takes a little bit of time for a price to reverse back down. And sometimes when it goes down, it looks like a dip. Certain times it's not the dip, and then it's actually going to turn into a downtrend. So I would just caution about that. I would watch this level, 241, 223, 211. You could see it. If it starts stair-stepping down, that's not good. So I'll watch out for that. Caterpillar is pretty high. If we rewound back to like November or something like that, or October, then I might have said, okay, maybe long back, my opinion would have changed if we were back here in this zone, right? When we had the breakout or the super support play. This took a lot of guts down here because that was when inflation was like at its worst, fear-wise. But we could pull back all the way down to $200 and then rebound again. So that's why we kind of want to watch out for that on Caterpillar. And a lot of these stocks as well. If you're a day trader or something like that, or a swing trader, it's not completely oversold yet on some of these indicators like RSI and MACD. You can see the 15 minutes already downtrending, the 4 hours kind of down crossed, and the 1 hour is down crossed. The 4 hour has to down cross for it to really get rid of its uptrend. So that's why I'm saying we watch out for that support in this range. All right, I think I'll do, okay, let's switch to crypto. So now we're in cryptocurrency analysis mode. Just want to take a second here to say thank you for joining the stream and for watching and following. I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have Discord as well. So TOTAL, crypto total market cap. All right, we had this very nice rally, beautiful rally. Let's just erase everything and start this fresh. Coming off of this double bottom from November, December into January. Nice double bottom support here. Okay, so I do want to make myself clear. Last time I was saying, someone's asking me something about like hourly and something like that. So we did get that down. Like I was saying, we got that intermediate down and then we had the rebound. But we also had a short squeeze. The $60 million short squeeze and the Ordinals NFT activity that the hype went maximum. So that's why we popped up pretty strongly to the upside. Now, what needs to happen for Bitcoin, like I keep saying, or our total at least, is if we are not going to crash back down to an upside down head and shoulders scenario, that was one scenario. If that doesn't happen, we just need to keep stair stepping up and until we reach 30,000, breakthrough, hold, let's go to 40K, 50K. I definitely still believe it in crypto that it's definitely possible. And especially with this Hong Kong exchange, if they get their retail trading license and open up to everybody and reduce the trading fees for a while, I mean, people are going to get hyped up again about crypto trading. Now, we had the descending wedge breakout. All right, so the measured move should be about plus 25% from the breakout, which we basically hit that. If we hit the second target, should be 1.3 trillion. I'm still on TOTAL. Now, what we're probably going to see this month or next month is we might get a little golden cross going on here on the daily. That will be good. Golden cross. Now, the price, we tested that 200 EMA right off this 970 billion and now rallying to the upside. So if we need a golden cross, this needs to just keep going. We need to never fall below $1 trillion market cap. Now, let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin already has its golden cross. Okay, this is beautiful. Very good. You could see now the anticipation of the rounding action of the price is descending wedge. What was that? Still about 25% from the breakout. We didn't quite get there yet on Bitcoin, so... or maybe we did, just barely. So the next target would be 30K. So we just hit 25K as I'm speaking on this live stream. Now that becomes our immediate support level, 25K, 23. This 22 was our low. Didn't quite hit 20,000, but still we hit a round number of 21,000. That's okay. No problem there. So we need to never go below, now our line to sand is 22K. 22,000, our golden cross level. It could come down to testing supported ones, but we already double tested the 200 EMA once. So I want to see a higher high. Let's see if we get a higher high going on. And then at some point, if somebody's looking to enter long, we need to make sure we're not going to get faked out though. That's why I always have the reverse scenario in the back of my mind, is that once we reach a resistance point, let's say like a pivot or something like that on a daily, is it going to break through or not, this resistance? That's why the next big resistance is like a 28K, and then we have like a 30K. So if we can reach there, that's totally fine. We have 3 or 4, major continents that can trade crypto. So if we hit it, great. And then if we pull back to establish support and then try to uptrend again, it's going to take time. It's not going to take like 2 days, okay, for this long-term swing trading. This could take like 6 months to a year. Because the fact of this rounding pattern, how long did this take? This took 6 months, right? So we could be looking at the beginning of a 6 months potential rally. If markets do not crash, that's a big if, all right? So I'm talking to myself right now too, is if this pops up, let's say to 30K, you could also have a bearish momentum setup happening on the MACD and the RSI, and then we'll get a large pullback. I want to watch out for that. But the 4 hours still uptrending. Beautiful. It's good. Like I was saying last time on stream, the 4 hour had the bullish setup, right? Back when we were talking, just to rewind, because I want to, stay accountable, is I was talking about the stream on stream like right here or something like that, right here. So the fact that we had this bullish momentum, then we double bottom, and then we had the short squeeze breakout, that was the support play for the H4 chart as bullish. All right, let's go to Ethereum USD. Let me check for any requests here. Oh, I missed a stock request. Okay. All right. Let me take a step back for a second. Sometimes the live chat on TradingView, like I don't see it for a very long time, so it doesn't refresh. So let's take a quick step back to Apple. It's still a tech stock, so it still matters. All right, we're going back to USA stocks for a second before we go back to crypto. I want to do this request because this is one of the largest stocks by market cap right now. All right, Apple. If for QQQ, the NASDAQ chart, that's the third chart I did, maybe around the 10-minute mark, I believe, at the beginning of the stream. So if we just compare, QQQ is kind of hesitating and might pull back down, or at least go sideways. Apple, already on the daily chart, we're losing momentum. There's a head and shoulders bearish pattern on this RSI, kind of in this over just under the overbought range. We're starting to lose momentum here. We have resistance right at 155. So because it's a general resistance zone, unless we have a breakout, most likely it's probably going to pull back. Most likely over time, right? Generally, it's not quite at the top of that resistance zone, but we hit this 155 resistance. There's like a 163. So if the H4 really pulls back, you could see it clearly here on the 4-hour chart, is that we just lost the resistance, a support level. Let me say that again. We just lost this trend line, and it's getting stuck at a resistance level. So if it double tops and it pulls back down, we can measure that to the downside. 5% earnings are still in play for other companies, so 5 to 10% over time. This is quite a very strong bearish call, but Apple's usually the last kind of big stock to topple. So I learned that, last year, confirmed it, is, investors and consumers, customers, we all love Apple products, right? So it's like, it has to be a major catastrophe in the market for Apple itself, one of the titans of tech, to also crash back down. But we have that interest rate hike coming up probably in March, right? 25 to 50 basis points. So if we pull back, I would not be surprised if it pull back strongly over time. So where could we pull back to be exact, like a 148, 144, 140, 135? It's still golden cross though. It might retest this 144 and stop there, right? Because the measured move, okay, it's about down to this 200 EMA. And if we saw with Bitcoin, if it holds and let's say, if we have any good news in March, then it might bounce up like that. That's one bullish scenario. The bearish scenario is just straight down. Stair steps down. So I would caution. Because if somebody, like I said, for my strategy is buy low, sell high, generally, right? That's the general quote. Everybody needs to kind of like, longs need to really believe in that. That's the mantra of a long bull. Buy low, sell high. So where was the lowest back here in January? Is it relatively low right now? It is not, in my opinion. It is not. And we had false breakouts too before, like in July, August. That's why if it's going to be another false breakout and we're pulling back, just watch out for that in the long term. All right, let's hop back to crypto, Ethereum USD. I still think it's good to look back and forth. There is sometimes correlation between tech and crypto as well. So you could kind of see a similar setup. Do you know what I mean? If we're on Ethereum crypto right now, is we had this rally and now it's kind of at the resistance spot. Crypto trading does not always correlate with stocks. So that's why crypto, sometimes you get the FOMO rally and it just goes up. It just starts mooning and starts rallying for no apparent reason, just on hype alone. So it's definitely possible. We had that retest of the support play at like a 1500 already. And if this goes high-low, if we could go higher high, that'd be great. The measured move is supposed to be conservative, like a 40%. So it should try to go to about $2,000 Ethereum. By Fibonacci, the past. That sounds, well, 2,500 would be about correct. 2,000 to 25,000. And so we breaking out above the symmetrical triangle, I like that. That's good. That's good. Right? If we hit this and reject it down, then we know we would be going down, but that's actually not happening. So we call out the charts like it is. Weekly, try to get this double bottom going off above $1,000 and see if we can reverse the rally. So this does not look like a lower high anymore. Low high, this higher low, it's higher high, higher low. Can we get the higher high? Let's go Ethereum 2,500 if it's even possible with the price. Now, if we're looking at these EMAs, Golden Cross, now our support level is about $1,500. So Golden Cross, hopefully that means this is the real one, because we have not had a Golden Cross on Ethereum, a real one, for 3 years since the pandemic started, right? So the only thing that's making me question it is, it did not crash all the way to the bottom, like a negative 90% off. It was like a negative 75% off, or almost 80. But still, the price, I believe in the price, right? All right, let's go next. Binance Coin. Binance Coin. All right, we found its support above $231. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Binance, one of the biggest exchanges in crypto, holding right now. See, if we look at a 4 years long chart, there is supposed to be a support level above like $100, but it's not really happening. The crash is not happening, right? It's just kind of flagging this way, almost in a parallel channel. So we're playing this parallel support above $200 support right here. If this turns out to be a double bottom, which in the weekly it could, let us measure that. Nice little potential 35 to 40% opportunity here on Binance Coin. This is not financial advice, but we could see the support clearly. This is a very large range, about 33%. It already bounced up, so this is not a bottom support play. This is like a continuation if things are going to go good, but then the target has to be up here, like upper $500. So Bitcoin really, really needs to rally, and then Binance Coin will probably follow along. Or Binance itself has to have some very amazing fundamental change, because I did see that news that Binance moved hundreds of millions of dollars away from US exchange onto, like, I think back onto its Hong Kong exchange. I could be mistaken, but it went back to a foreign exchange or foreign wallet. So that was a little concerning. But maybe the regulations are changing or something, or their plans are changing. But Binance Coin did not really crash down to oblivion. That's why. I still remember 2018 crash, 2020 crash. Those were some pretty negative catalysts. Only went down 66%. It's not the cheapest crypto either. All right. Let's go to Solana. All right, Solana now. Our big, huge rally on Solana, right? 157%. That's what people love about crypto. But the fact that we had this nice bullish momentum reversal up into this huge rally. We tested the EMAs, bounce off. Now our target is this $28 to $30 area. Can we get to $37? That's up to the bulls to decide. But if we hold above this $20 support, that would be very, very good. That'll be very, very good. So this is what I'm watching out for. Now, objectively, is this the lowest price of Solana? No, it is not. The Solana low price is $10. Just objectively, where is it right now? It's $26 right now. So sometimes cryptos could go 400-500%. It depends on the amount of FOMO globally. We're testing this neckline resistance right now. That's what's getting stuck here at this 26%. So for Solana to really, really go up and rally, it has to break the $30 range. We have to hit the higher high, probably in March, if it's possible. That would be beautiful for this coin. You can see the weekly has been open for a while. Weekly target could be $42 to $50 over time. Could take about a couple more months for that to happen. Cardano, similar. Bounce off that low support. Rally. Up to the 200 EMA, 41 cents. Pull back down. Now we have to break up the resistance of $42. A little bit of momentum for me on that daily. Weekly still in that neutral range. Then we're watching out. Very correlated with Bitcoin. This is very correlated with Bitcoin. So quickly for this one, try to get this higher high. It is upcrossed on the EMAs. High, low, high. We have to break above the resistance of $42. That's what we need. This is what we need. You can see it start to go sideways. The only thing, again, that's kind of a block in my mind right now, why I keep pausing, is the interest rates, right? If the whole if all assets crash, can crypto survive on its own? That's the question. Will people buy crypto in the next 3 to 6, 9, 12 months? That's the only way prices are going to go up. Buyers and then sellers closing out their position by buying. So everybody needs to buy for the rally to go up. Let's continue. All right. XRP, 55% range. We did not quite have this breakout. So I know people in Europe, at least last year or 2 years ago, they were really enjoying XRP. They really liked it. Now, is there a setup? This potential setup here. If the sim triangle, because we just saw Ethereum, right? We had this sim triangle breakout. So if it breaks out, I'm probably anticipating XRP going to 54 cents, maybe 75 cents, trying to push up to $1 even from a year from now. So XRP, interesting sim triangle play if it's going to pop up to the upside. We just watch out for that. It's trying to claw back right here. Almost bearish, but survived, right? You could see it just trying to hold above the support, trying to rally. So I'll watch out for that XRP. AVAX, very similar. I'll just briefly point out it needs to break above resistance at $22. Support is at $17. Trying to get the uptrend reversal. DOT, same deal. DOGE, very similar to XRP in terms of we held that support level above $7 and now see if we can get the pop up to the upside. 80% breakout. Can we do it? Can the bulls do it? It's only a 20. I mean, for an investor, it's normal play. 25% risk on a small and medium sized amount of capital, risking at a minimum. Risking 1% for most traders should be maximum 1% loss of the account size. So it's not really a huge deal for a single trade, right? Shiba Inu, this was my call for many months now, and this was a very profitable trade. Still up 60% on this, right? We correctly called this. I correctly called this on stream many times. We had the support play right above 774. I identified the symmetrical triangle, right? And then when it didn't move and it kept going down into my stop loss, I said, we hold that. I hold that trade and let it mature, let it ripen. Has to give it some time. How much long did that take? It took 3 months, almost. 3 months for 70%. That is a 7 years worth of average stock returns in 3 months. So it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game, really. And then it's just about being judicious with the decisions, meaning I'm not going to trade 50 times a month. I don't do that anymore. That's not my strategy anymore. I'm not a day trader anymore for crypto. I might become a day trader for crypto if the exchanges make the fees zero. That would really interest the traders again. But instead of look at the past a little too much, you might be asking, well, okay, what's going on now? What's going on now is we have a golden cross, but we had some bearish momentum in the past. There's a little bit of this MACD histogram that's building as well. So the golden cross, now our support is like 1150 or 1200. So if we don't fall below that, I'm anticipating some higher high in the future. MATIC as well, golden cross on MATIC. So now it's all about dips are your best friend. Dips are your best friend. Especially big dips are your best friend, right? Because if it starts rallying again, and let's compare apples to apples on the chart. Just erase everything. So if I'm looking at this price and it's going up, when's the last time that kind of sort of happened? Right here in May 2021. So if it dips and then holds the support, buy. Because that's the support play. We have to know the price action patterns of the past so that when it happens in real time in front of your eyes, then you know what to do. You know what to do. I know what to do. Like, you know what to do. I know what to do, right? Longs, we buy low, we sell high. For trade or investment, you hold on as long as you can. Trailing stop loss, you know, to be safe if you want, or profit targets. But if it's going to rally, right? The short-term no FOMO mindset is I try not to buy resistance. It's at resistance right now. I try not to buy that too much because the chances of it breaking through resistance and going to the moon is less than buying a support play. Support right at 75 cents, then boom, that thing went up to the resistance, $30 something. That was 100% gain. Or excuse me, 50% gain. 50% gain. Now it's at 100% gain, right? So kind of want to just watch out for that. Want to buy the dips. Now, like I was saying last week in my previous streams, is that if the price action has already happened, that's when the FOMO can kick in. All right, that's when I have no FOMO mentality, meaning that if something's already up 50, 100, 200%, and then someone's going to think and say, "Oh, should I buy some?" It's like, "Wait a second. What are we doing here? Are you making an investment? Am I trying to learn? Am I trying to do a trade?" If it's a very short-term trade, there's much higher risk. If it's a long-term investment and I bought it at support level and I let it go up, and all I have to do is hold and wait and observe. Obviously, move my stop loss up, right? Let's pretend I bought 75 cents. And if this thing I had a 25% stop loss and a 50% target range, I could have sold right here at 115. But if I want to let it run, then I just move my stop loss up like such. Something like that. So even if I get stopped out, I'm getting stopped out into profit. I still made profit, right? And let it go. And I can have a second target, profit target up here. That's why trading, we need plans. You need a plan. I need a plan. Traders need a plan. When trading, the difference between trading and gambling is no plan. Gambling is no management. Gambling is all emotional highs and lows. Trading is a real plan. You have an entry. And if anyone's like, yeah, I know this already. It's like, well, this is the fundamentals of trading. You have an entry. You have a stop loss. You have a profit target. You might have a second profit target. Let me do it like this. Just for an example visually, right? Entry. To drill this into our minds, every stream. Stop loss. Sell. Also, profit target 1. Sell. Profit target 2. Sell. Just like Jim Cramer. Sell. Right? Sell. You just execute the play. Then it becomes a matter of how good are my charting skills, right? If let's say I bought at this blue line, right? And the price is going like this, and then it keeps going down, then stopped out, and that was not the correct entry on the price action, right? But if the price does this, like on Shiba Inu, goes a little bit and then reverses 100%, 50%, that was the correct entry, right? So then it just depends on the TA and how good it is and someone's like analysis ability and risk management to say, all right, how much am I going to put in this trade? How much dollar maximum can I lose here on the stop loss? Then what's my profit potential on these targets? Am I going to invest? Am I going to trade? Am I going to day trade short term? Am I going to swing trade? Am I going to invest? Those are questions that a trader needs to ask themselves and decide for themselves. Nobody in the market, your exchange is not going to tell you that. The exchange doesn't care what happens. If a trader wins or loses, they don't care. It's a robot. It's an algorithm, right? So what traders have to do is manage themselves, their mind, their account. And this brings me to just another point that just what I'm observing in the world, and this is not directed at any person, it's just like what I'm observing when I go outside. Because I'm a very like kind of like an analytical observant person. I go outside, I go to a store, or I go talk to some people just randomly outside. You know, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? Again, right now, most people are they're doing things kind of too fast, I would say. Where our culture right now is geared towards speed versus accuracy, right? Like trying to do things too fast and then, oh, wait, on the charts, like, oh, I didn't see something, and then you get stopped out. It's like, well, you know, maybe just doing 2 more minutes or 5 more minutes of analysis could have saved somebody, you know, that trade. So that's why I take time on my trades. That's why I became a swing trader investor. Day trading, who's your opponent? $1 million or $1 billion algorithm or $1 million trading account. That's your opponent, right? So that's why it depends on a trader's goal, what they want, and their own personality. But you know, I'm going too much into like pure education. So let's just move on, do a couple more cryptos. But you know, this is key for risk management. If a trader doesn't have this, they're 100% gambling and probably not going to have a high win rate over time. All right, let's go to Adam, USDT. If you have any crypto requests, go ahead and let me know, and then we're going to close out. I'm trying to do our stream. All right, so Adam, same deal. We have Golden Cross. Good. Now I want to have that support above 1263. Any significant dip could be a buying entry opportunity. Near, not quite there yet. So the target for near is $3. Okay. And again, I'm not saying the whole market is about to go up, but if it does, I'm saying that's the potential target. It could go down. And then all of these charts, we're going to have to rechart it again next week, right? In terms of if it's extreme bearish this week, that's a different story. If we just immediately stop like tomorrow, because the market opens tomorrow, and then in the USA, and then we crash back down for stocks, and crypto goes down as well, this is a different story. I'll say short, right? But if I'm looking at it today, it's trying to get some continuation setups. All right, Litecoin. I still have Litecoin. I've owned Litecoin, and I've been holding it this whole time. So what was the play? There is a sideways consolidation. I identified that way back here in November, December, and I said, I like Litecoin. We also have the halving happening in about 6 months. So I said, I'm long Litecoin. So long Litecoin. Now, where is that support? My stop loss somewhere down here, and I'm up Litecoin, like 80% Litecoin. Am I going to sell now for an investment? No. Because I like this golden cross. I like this higher low pattern. I'm anticipating this thing's going to pull back a little bit, maybe to like $90, like $82, and then see if we could get a higher high. That's the difference between like a day trader and a swing trader investor is I know this thing might go down and I'm still going to hold it. Why? It's just, hopefully it's just a pullback and we can keep going higher. What's going to make me change things if the government changes, if like there's some fraud at a major crypto exchange, like, wait, let me reassess. Let me think about it again, my position. But if it's smooth sailing and there's no major problems for this year, then all right, let's go to the moon if it's possible. Only thing is, again, we're hitting this 200 EMA resistance, so it could be a pretty significant pullback. I mean, severe pullback of like 20% or such. So just going to watch out for that on some of these coins. All right, Uni also trying to establish the resistance. Just broke out of its wedge right here. What's the channel length? 33%. So the target would be about 850 to the upside. See if we can get there. Not quite overbought either. Just really trying to get there. A little bit of bearish momentum on the 4-hour, but I'm sure some day traders, they might try to push it up a little bit on that Hong Kong exchange news. All right. I saw a nice chart from a very established trader and analyst here on TradingView regarding Link USD. So let's just take a quick look at this. Parallel channel going to the side right now, essentially, right? A little bit of pokes, price poking out on the resistance and support. But this kind of reminds me of some of the other altcoins we just looked at. I'm talking about this parallel channel. So it's good. If it breaks out of the channel above the resistance, that's a 50% potential profit gain. Very nice on Link. I've been watching this for a long time because why is it just going sideways, right? So that's good. If it's 50% crash, that would be pretty devastating, down to 287. But it is what it is. And we're waiting for the price to really make a breakout or not. Let me get this resistance going. It already broke out of this very short-term resistance trend line, and it's held that support above, just above $6 area. The potential upside down head and shoulders right now is what some traders are playing, the neckline breakout. So we just played that. That's a 30% in itself, going up to about $10 target. So see if we can hit those targets. Just kind of watch out for that, though. Putting up a Fibonacci as well. We just bounced sort of off that 0.888. Yes, that's why also. 786, 618. Link might eventually go back up to $20 if Bitcoin really rallies. Just watch out for that. Tron, beautiful, beautiful. Old coin, but the support held. The 5 cents, beautiful. Gotta love it. Just watch out for this one, though. You know, in crypto, this is why. So, because people don't know this, but I started out as a crypto trader. And so the FOMO plays is when something is up too high, you just want to be cautious on the entries. Support plays are your best friend. I love support plays because they usually work unless there's like a COVID type of crash. Support plays, nice. But is this support right now at the price right now? Not really. So you may just want to watch out for that. And what I mean watch out is, well, when is the next support play going to happen? A dip, a reduction in the price, a low, a valley. I like to see that. Low, low. Where is it? Low. Where's the next low? If it doesn't come low, then we have to chase a breakout or do a breakout play. Like you might have just buy up here. But that's pretty late. You know what I'm saying, right? You understand what I'm saying is that if I'm pretty late to a price action, I'm more cautious. And I'll try to maybe buy one of these little dips here. And when I say little, that's still, 7, 8, 10%. It's for trading, that's what people are trying to get, 10, 20% on crypto, 100%. Investors were trying to get like 500%, 1,000% on some of the coins. Everything's just following that. 4 hour H4. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. Now higher high, higher low, higher higher. Try to get this bounce up, and I want to really see the RSI get into the super overbought range. Ethereum Classic. All right, Ethereum Classic. It has to break out above this resistance. You can see the yellow bar. It's good that it's the best entry was right here. These beautiful double bottoms. If anyone wants to kind of have a price reference, gotta love that. Double bottom, all right, we're in. Low RSI, I'm in. That's my play. That's my play. One of my plays. And then it rallies. And then now the question is, all right, this thing is not really coming down. There was that temporary dip just a couple days ago. This is what I'm saying, is instead of buying here at the way top, just because we wake up and see green on the charts and then we're all super happy and you get all emotional and then you log in and buy something and then it goes down 20%. That's not a real play. That's not a real strategy. Have to have more of a profitable strategy than that. And combine that with technical analysis, then we can start to make plays. If this becomes a resistance and this becomes a support, I want to buy right here or even lower. But at least I would start a position right here like $20 if I was trading ETC right now. And then the stop loss, like a 6-7% with like a 14%. And you could see how one trader might sell right now. Or they move their stop loss way up here to like a 23. So if it comes down like 10 cents or 60 cents, this thing's going to stop out profit. They lock that in 14, 13%. That's still a lot. All right. Let me just check the comments here. Okay. All right. I'm seeing the comments now. All right. Let's see. What do I use for correlation analysis for my cryptos apart from DXY? I use for my cryptos apart from DXY. All right. So let's look at DXY. DXY being the dollar currency index, right? There are some indexes here on the on TradingView. Total TOTAL is one that I use. It's the actual entire crypto market cap. I do it every single stream, so it's no real secret. A lot of traders use total market cap. So total to me is like sort of like S&P 500 for stocks or like NASDAQ for stocks. It's not quite Dow Jones. Dow Jones is too small for ETF, but it's like the S&P 500. So I use this. Sometimes I don't even look at the DXY. I don't even look at it. Sometimes I look at Bitcoin futures because futures has some large amount of money in it as well. So for example, on this futures chart, all I have to do is open it, this Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and just chart it, the price, and you just get good at the price. Because we can see draw a trend line, draw another trend line. And then right here is a play, support play. There's support here, support here. This thing starts higher, high, long. It's that simple. It's that simple. I don't really have to, it's just my style. And, you know, it's okay to disagree with my style. Everyone's different, but that's enough for me to just say buy and put the money on the trade. 10% stop loss. That's where my support is right here at 15.7. It was very nerve-wracking and very, you know, there's a lot of fear in the market at that time. But if the whole price is going down like this and I see the reversal, I see the signal right here, support, buy, buy, buy. And I did. And now we're up in profit and we're just waiting to see, okay, we had the retest, high, low, high, low. If we're going to pull back, that's fine. But can it go higher? If it starts crashing catastrophically, then it's like stop loss exit. But I've studied and I've been in crypto long enough to know that if I have a serious pullback and it breaks out and it never stops going down, I'm going to hodl for that. We hodl to the moon. So correlation, just to answer your question, I look at other things like, you know, because I just look at it every stream. That's why I look at QQQ, NASDAQ, every single stream. I look at TOTAL, every single stream. Sometimes I look at DXY. I look at Bitcoin futures every stream on my own time. There's like other ones, but you probably don't need to know that right now. Those are the big major ones. In my opinion, from my experience, if somebody can just chart Bitcoin well, that's all you really need to do, to be honest. Because in terms of getting the general direction correct, because if Bitcoin goes up, then what happens with every single other altcoin? Probably going up. Probably. Sometimes a little altcoin goes up before. Case in point, Solana went up way faster and harder than Bitcoin. January, Bitcoin was like kind of going up, but then in terms of Solana, had like a huge move, like hundreds of percent, whereas Bitcoin went like 30%. So, but yeah, so sometimes I don't really have to do correlation so strongly, like 1-to-1 is. My style is I actually just literally analyze the king of cryptos for now, Bitcoin, the top market cap cryptos. And then if you just get that direction right, everything else just follows for the most part. What can prove me wrong is sometimes when there's like FTX or there's Luna, it it doesn't correlate and just crashes down to zero. So, that's the risk of crypto trading. Crypto is not safe. People need to realize that. So I'm moving on to a different topic now. Crypto is not safe. It's one of the riskiest assets that somebody could trade or invest in. It's a digital coin. It's a digital asset. You can't touch it with your hands, right? It's digital in the computer, on the nodes, in the networks only, on the ledgers. It's digital. Once we understand that and the volatility and that it has less utility in the world right now, some countries, they legalize Bitcoin, but the rest of the, let's say G7, G20 countries, are we ready to just flip to US dollar coin in one day? No, our infrastructure is not ready. Globally, we're not ready. It could take decades and more decades for that to happen. But I still believe in crypto. I believe in digital money. I believe in stable coins. Like if we have a US dollar coin, that could be really helpful. We already pay with like electronic payments like PayPal and Venmo, etc. So it's just a matter of time. But will the government just stop using US dollar here in America? No way. No way. That will shut down every single business. So that's a different topic for a different day. But I'm pro crypto, I'm pro blockchain, but I also understand that crypto is just one asset on Earth, and it's not. Maybe 100 years from now, digital money might be the only money we use. We still have credit cards, we still have loans, we still have cash, but if we have digital dollar, that would be very useful. Now, crypto speculation, crypto trading, we know Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. Charlie Munger hates crypto trading, speculation, because people lose all their money in like Luna and FTX. So, there's incredible risk. But if we're just talking about trading and basically a little bit of speculation, then the support play, sometimes just right here. That's all. We just trust in the price and you just hope for the best, and then boom, it goes up. Right? Sometimes it doesn't work though. I'm trying to give people examples of like what really happens here. Is sometimes the support play back in May, this is a triple bottom. This is a textbook triple bottom. And then it went up, and then interest rates keep going up. The market's going to crash, and it was not the bottom. Same thing with here. Somebody could say, well, isn't this support? And we try to let it go, and then crash. So, that's why stop loss is key, and watching the charts, because once I saw this break, I knew, okay, wait, this is bad. That could happen again. We could rally up again to, let's say, 30,000, and then we might see the pullback, right? Also, I also know that we might have a large upside down here and shoulders, and then we can go up. So that's why. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan Chase Bank, his quote, I learned from him. He said, we never want to have only one scenario because there's too much risk. We want to have multiple scenarios to prepare. That's why for me, I always, on my charts, I try to have at least two scenarios in general, the bullish, bearish, and maybe the sideways scenario for a third one. Some kind of covered there. If market crashes, I kind of know, okay, it might crash down to 22 or 20, and then maybe I might want to start to buy again at 20 or 15K. If you lose 15K, we're in big, big trouble on crypto. All right, I'll do one more request, or maybe like a couple more. I just saw this. Hello, MOD. All right, let's go back to stock request now. MOD, Modine Manufacturing Company, interesting company. It's in the New York Stock Exchange. Industrial machinery. When's their earnings? They already reported their earnings. Top line revenue, net revenue was not not so great. Oh, hello. We did Dogecoin quickly in kind of like maybe like 20 minutes ago, I would say, or 10 minutes ago. Dogecoin. All right. Let's look at this now. Somebody on TradingView, KC, let's just see the inputs. Long, $25. The stop loss of $21.91. Price target of 30. All right. Let's try to just open that up for that 2-to-1 play. Now, the issue I would say with this is, again, my style is different than other people. Some people are continuation traders, meaning they just like to buy like some dip. Some people are breakout traders. I'm more of a dip trader. I'm more of a support trader. Like I like to buy these bottoms. So that's why. When I look at this, I would caution somebody. Because the first half of this stream, we're at a resistance point on a lot of stocks and the indexes as well. So the way to know for this basically is if MOD loses the trend line and it breaks down like this, I would not long. I would recommend not longing. For educational purposes, this is not financial advice. But if I was trading this and I saw the price do this, I would not buy. I would sell. I would short that thing down. Sometimes if it pulls back and then we have a support play, then I might long that. But I can already tell just from this pattern, let's open up some indicators. It is golden crossed. Okay, that's the only reason I might go long. But if interest rates, we know the CPI was kind of high today, this month. PPI was high. We have PCE inflation data coming out this week. We have interest rates probably going to increase again in March, maybe even up to 50 basis point. So that's some of the risk in the market right now. If we look at a weekly, it is in this overbought range. So last time it was in the overbought range is very similar, right? We had a golden cross. This is way back in May, though, a couple of years ago. We had a golden cross, uptrend, and then it started to crack. So that's what I'm saying. If you see the price go just sideways a little bit for a couple days or a couple weeks, and then it starts to pull back down, I would say, watch out, red flag. We're starting to see a little bit of this bearish momentum right at where we are. So it could be a relative top. Given all that information. So you just want to, I would caution, exercise caution on this one. Now, if the price was, let's say, right here at $18, almost like a September 2022, let this RSI cool down, let the price cool down, then that might be a long entry. That's getting in way early. And then there could be like a profit potential 40% there. But since this is in the uptrend, somebody's basically betting that this is gonna try to go up again. But it's a breakout play. So if it fails, understand that the risk, it could go straight into your stop loss over a couple of days. Just want to watch out for that. All right. And then the last ones, well, let's just do DXY just for reference. And then we really got to close out because everybody left. But DXY, here we go. All right, DXY, still in the downtrend. We had this rally as well, the dollar's currency index. Now, had a nice little bounce, correlated with kind of gold as well. We bounced out that 50%. And we had a nice little breakout as well. So, what am I anticipating? Okay, if it tested that 103.23 low, the resistance, now it's going to try to bounce up, let's say, to 105. We could also Fibonacci extension this thing. Fib extension. It's like a 103. The 618 is right here at 105 almost. That's why. Watching out for that. But it does need to break out above 104.01. It's not even an extreme overbought territory, right? So this thing has a little bit more room to move up. The MACD EMAs can extend up, and then we'll have this MACD green go down, and then it might be a pullback. So it's in process right now. The weekly has large momentum building. Not quite oversold, but we'll see if it can continue to rally. Neutral zone on the RSI, you have double MACD continuation, and the golden cross in 4 hour as well. So that's why we might see that continuation to the upside. Now, if we switch over to Forex majors really fast, Euro USD. So there is a general inverse correlation with the US dollar and the Euro, so DXY and Euro. So if DXY goes up, then Euro can continue to just fall back down a little bit, right? So 105 might be that downside target on Euro USD, and maybe even 103. So we want to watch out for that. If we hit that support level 105, we'll be careful. Be careful. USD JPY is different story, correlated with DXY for the most part, just visually as well. It's a very similar analysis as previous on the stream. We also had this rounding bottom action. I like seeing that in terms of the double bottom usually, or this nice little breakout, right? It takes time. It's not, we're not talking about little penny altcoins, right? When it just goes like that, straight up. Trends take time to develop. It takes time to reverse and round out. So we have upside down inverse head and shoulders. I like that. Now, where is the breakout spot? 3%, 136 target, 140 target to the upside. It's starting its ascent run. And somebody asked me for Aussie dollar last time. Aussie AUD USD. Nice little golden cross. However, I do see this is weird though. This is where it's conflicting, and so this is it's going to take some time for this to play out. You have a head and shoulders which is bearish, but you have a golden cross which is bullish. So it's 50-50 right now, but the price is holding above the 200 EMA, so it's right at the neckline and EMA support. So if we break down, then you know it's downward continuation. So if somebody could try to just kind of do this. It's dangerous though, but on Forex, but as soon as it closes down and then it starts to rally, fade down, then I might want to enter that one. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, watching, and following today. Again, I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, and we have a Discord group as well. And I just want to say, let's try to stay strong out there mentally and physically. Also in the USA, the weather's going to get kind of bad for like a week straight. So, you know, we're going to have to push through it. And I hope everyone has a good week this week. The next stream will probably be Sunday 26th night. So I'll probably see you then. Happy trading. See you next time. Bye-bye.